My name is Art, and I'm a certified web accessibility specialist with New Era, and I would like to walk you through 5 types of images and the best text alternatives for each. All non-decorative images must have text alternatives so they're adequately described for users who can't see them, either because of technical issues or disability. In many cases, this text alternative will be contained in an image element's alt attribute, more commonly referred to as alt text or an alt tag. In other cases, where a more detailed description is required, you must use additional methods to adequately describe the information in the image. Conversely, we want to ignore decorative images to provide a smoother user experience. So I want to discuss the rules around these images and then the methods that are used to describe the information or function represented by each type of image. So for accessibility purposes, the W3C breaks images down into 5 basic types. First, decorative images. These don't add information to the content of a page. For example, most icons or fancy bullets. Second, we have informative images. These convey a simple concept or information that can be expressed in a short phrase or sentence. For example, hero images, product images, images of your vacation, or images of your pets. Number 3 is functional images. These are used to initiate actions rather than to convey information. For example, a site logo that links to the site's homepage, or images that are links or launch actions on the page. Number 4, images of text. These contain text that is not live text anywhere else on the page. For example, company logos or callouts. And number 5 is complex images. And these contain substantial information more than can be conveyed in a short phrase or sentence. For example, charts or images of tables, images with large amounts of text. So I put together a pretend website here to give you an example of what I'm talking about. So this is my dog Lena. I like to put things on her head and take photos of her because I think she's really cute, and my wife agrees. Let's pretend I built a website to showcase Lena and her hats. I'm going to use this site to show an example of each type of image. So here we have the pretend homepage of our 2-page website, and it contains 4 types of images. We have a functional image, we have decorative images, we have informative images, and we have an image of text. Let's look at how we might write alt text for each of these. So for our, let's line that up. There we go. For our functional image, this will take us to the home page of our massive website. Our alt text could read home, period, Lena and her hats. That gives us the text that's in the image, but also the function, the more important part, and we put that first. I put a period in here, so it makes the screen reader or other assistive technology pause for a second, so it doesn't run it all together, like home Lena and her hats. That's hard to understand. So home, Lena and her hats. So that's our functional image. Now we have decorative images. I had this little icon that I made of Lena's smiling face, but we don't want that to be announced every time someone encounters it on the page because it's purely decorative. So our alt text with that would be a null value. So it's alt equal open, close, quotes with nothing inside. Assistive technology understands that that is telling us it's a decorative image. Don't announce it. Don't even mention it. Now, this is great for lots of images that are placed on the page using the IMG attribute or element, but we could also have inline SVGs. You can't have that alt attribute on it. So you would want to use an ARIA hidden equal true attribute, and that would hide it. We have our informative image. We have several examples of Lena with silly things on her head. These are all the informative images, and the alt text for this is pretty easy. Lena looking up at the camera with a Santa hat on her head. We want to tell what is in the image. The fourth type of image here is an image of text. Here the alt text says, one dog, so many hats. Again, I use the period to give it a little pause so it seems a little bit more natural when it's announced. Now, if we want to look at a complex image, we're going to go to the second page of this website, the Lena hat chart. So the Lena hat chart is this chart that basically categorizes the many types of hats that Lena wears. I actually haven't taken this many pictures of Lena with a hat on her head, but let's pretend I did. So what I want to do with this, I want to make sure that users of assistive technologies get all of this information, but I also want them to know that there's a bar chart here. So I make sure I have an alt text for the image, and then I have a longer description describing what's in that image. So I use the fig caption, HTML elements structure. So I wrap everything in a figure. The image has alt text, bar chart of Lena's hat categories. Then there's a fig caption element. This is an HTML element. And what assistive technology does is it associates that information with that image. I like to use this when I'm using actual HTML that needs to be a little bit more descriptive. You could use something like an ARIA describe by, but that strips out all of the HTML and this would all run together. I want something with a little more form to it. I have a bulleted list. I think it's a little bit easier to understand. So when they come to this, when a user using a screen reader comes to this, they would hear the alt text for the image, and then it would say a bar chart showing the types of hats Lena has worn in photos. Then it would say list with 4 items, and it would run through the 4 things. So it's a little bit easier for people to understand. So I hope this makes sense. And I'm going to stop sharing so I can say goodbye to you. Thanks for joining me. I would heartily recommend reading the W3C's image tutorials at w3.org/WAI/tutorials/images for more information. They have an alt decision tree that is especially useful. Thanks a lot.